Hello and welcome to the Quick Start Guide for Town of Salem. This video will not get into the strategy and rules for each individual role. It will, however, provide a high-level overview of the game and the elements of play. Town of Salem is a game of murder, investigation, and deception. In each game, you'll be given a role to play, and each role has different abilities, attributes, and victory conditions. When you start a game, you'll be given the option to join a lobby or create a party with friends. Classic mode features a specific set of roles, while other modes feature host-selected roles, random roles, or special rules. Once in a lobby, the Town of Salem will gather 15 players. You will then be taken into the game. The game starts by selecting a name for yourself. You can type any name you like to protect your identity in the game. If you let the timer expire before typing a name, the game will assign a generic name for you. After the timer is expired, you'll be assigned a role in the town. This role determines your abilities, attributes, and victory conditions, and there are many different roles in the town. The role you are given is secret to everybody else, and it's up to you to keep your identity hidden or reveal it at the proper time. After you've learned the basics of the game, it is crucial to learn what all the other roles can do and what the respective goals are. Now you'll be taken into the main game screen. From here, the game is played out in several phases. Before we get into the phases, I want to take you around the screen and explain all the different elements. Starting in the top left, you'll see your player name and several buttons to the right of that. The most crucial tool here is the last will. In your last will, you can leave a message to the town after you're deceased. Most roles will want to use this tool to describe their actions each night, to aid the town in figuring out who is who. Or it can be used as a tool of deception, to throw other players off your faction's track. Or you can just use it to gloat. The other buttons here will vary by role. If you are in a killing role, you'll have the Death Note tool. This note will be left by any player you kill, so use it wisely. Another button sometimes found here is the Day Action button. Certain roles will have actions that must be decided during the day and then performed at night. Moving down the screen, next is the Graveyard. All deceased town members will be shown here along with their role in the town. You can also click a player name to review their last will and death note. Next to the Graveyard is a full list of all the town's roles. Below these windows is the chat window. It is here that most of the game takes place. In chat, players can inform, deceive, and antagonize one another. Also, any notifications such as a death or a player leaving the game will be found here. In the top right of the screen, you will find the phase timer. This tells you how many seconds are left in each phase of the game. The length of time varies by phase and game type. Below the timer is the role window. This describes in detail your abilities, attributes, and goal. Hovering over your goal will give you other victory conditions such as which factions can be alive for victory, and which ones you must eliminate. Below that is the town list. This shows all the remaining members of town. It is also where you will vote to send someone to trial, as well as select which player to take an action on during the respective phase. Back to phases. The game is played out in several. The first day, night, reporting, discussion, and trial. The game begins with a brief discussion period followed by the first night. During the night, those with night actions will choose them. At the end of the night, you will know if you've been killed or not. After the night comes the reporting phase. All dead bodies are examined, last wills are revealed, as well as death notes. After the night's events are reported, a discussion phase begins. Here the players will once again come together to inform each other or deceive each other into voting one way or another. Once the discussion period is ended, the trial phase begins. Players can vote to send any town member to trial, or none at all if they choose. Be careful here. Who you accuse is public knowledge. When a player gets enough votes, they are sent to trial. In the trial, the accused will be allowed to defend themselves. During this time, only their chat message will come through. The accused must convince the town to vote innocent, using information, logic, or deception. Or you can do the same to convince them to hang you, depending on your role. After the defense phase ends, the rest of the town can vote on the fate of the accused. You can vote guilty or innocent, or you can abstain. Votes are kept private until time expires, but a simple majority is needed for a verdict. When time expires, the votes are revealed, and the judgment on the accused is rendered. If found guilty, the accused will die. If voted innocent, they will be spared and returned to their home. If the player was found innocent, additional trials could take place if time allows. After the execution and a guilty verdict, the player's last will be read, and their role will be revealed. Once a player is executed, and their role and notes revealed, the day is over, and the night begins once again. So this has been the Quick Start Guide for Town of Salem. I've been Modi Operandus. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy Town of Salem, be sure to check out my channel. Have a good night.